today on NYSE Floor Talk is Evan Kaplan. He is the CEO at InfluxData. Evan, it's fantastic to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
It's great. Thanks for having me.
So Evan, you're in New York right now for the AWS Summit. Now, InfluxData recently announced a big partnership with AWS. So tell me about that partnership and what it means for the time series market.
Amazon, AWS, hosts a variety of different databases. Almost all of them they build themselves or are built on an open source platform. We're the first open source database that they've ever licensed to run as a first party on their platform. So we're kind of pioneering a new relationship. In the past, Amazon has either taken the open source and run it themselves or forked it or different other stuff. And the community struggled with that a little bit. But with us, they built this relationship. And so we offer our database as a first party. They sell it to their customers, and then we upgrade them to different levels of service. And we're super excited about the relationship. Amazon's been a great partner. Really excited about it.
So now, you mentioned that you're a database company. Tell me more about InfluxData.
The company actually started out in financial data. So we specialize in an area called time series data. And we're sort of the broad leader in that space. There are about 1.1 million users who run Influx daily. Some of them very, very large corporates, some of them day traders, some at home. But we started in the financial space using tick data, stock exchanges, trading, hedge funds, stuff like that. But now we've broadened that focus to be very much around sensor data, IoT, basically core data that measures time indexed information.
Okay, so now tell me, why is time series data an important segment of modern data infrastructure?
So I'd argue it's becoming potentially the most important, which probably is what drove the original Amazon deal, is that we have so many open source users and so many customers, is if you think about it, so if you think about the world in general, you think about measuring things in terms of time. So what happened, what happened, what happened, what happened, right? And if you do that at a super high resolution, so what happened every nanosecond, what happened every millisecond, what happened every second, you really get a very good picture of the physical world or even the virtual world. And using that picture, think of that picture as fundamental, think about it as oil. So if you think about it as the fundamental source of energy for building training models, AIs, things like that, then the ability to capture, collect that data, index it, organize it, take action on that data is a profound thing. So think about a self-driving car. So you're collecting thousands of measurements a second, and you're collecting that at high resolution. You want to know how to build a model about what the car should do next in every situation. Time series is the foundational data.
Now, talk to me about the role it plays in AI and building intelligence.
Yeah. So that's really, so we sort of hinted at that a little bit, but you take a physical system in the world and you instrument it to a really, really high degree, high resolution. So you can see everything that happens every second, all of that. Now you've got a really good picture of what's happening. And so if you know what's happening, you can feed that data into a training model, into an AI model, right? And that becomes sort of the pure oil for that system. So the training model then refines it and says, whenever this happens, you should do this. Whenever this happens, you should do that. And then we implement it by taking action on that data. So think of us as the operational database and the AI as the intelligence. We're feeding the intelligence, we're the hands, we're the eyes, we're the sensors collecting the data, and then we're the hands taking actions on the data. And so it's a really powerful place in the ecosystem. And up until recently, it's not been a specialized space, but now as we're collecting more and more of this data, it's becoming increasingly specialized. So we have competitors, it's starting to be a big market. It's very exciting.
Now tell me, who are some of your customers, Evan, and how are they leveraging time series data?
Yeah, I think so it's pretty easy to understand. So Tesla is a fairly significant customer. So if you think about their energy systems, their power walls, which I happen to have 3 in my home, right? They're trading energy based on how much power I generate. They trade it back to the grid or not. So they're using Influx to collect the data about how much energy is being generated pretty much every second, and then they decide where they trade it. They show me on an application how much I'm generating, all that sort of stuff. And so we're collecting how much power is coming in. We also have Eutelsat, one of the largest satellite companies, and other satellite companies I can't mention, who are instrumenting the movement of satellites over time in space and all that sort of stuff. So imagine anything where you really want to know what's happening in the physical or the virtual world to a high degree, and you really need clarity about that, that's where people use us the best. So our largest customers are Salesforce, IBM, Tesla. We have a lot of the industrial customers, Siemens, Honeywell, companies like that.
All right. Well, Evan, wonderful to talk with you. Thanks
It's a
for
pleasure.
joining me.
Yeah, thanks for making the time.